How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the newest Last Call edition for the Dodge Chargers and Challengers that has just been released. But before we get into today's video, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down there below. It really does help me out a ton as a small YouTuber. Also, if you have been subscribed, be sure to click that little bell icon to actually get notified every time that I do post a new video. But without wasting any more time, getting into the newest Last Call edition for these Chargers and Challengers. Actually, this one is just a Challenger, and it is the Black Ghost edition, which you can see right here from this Car Scoops article. It will be linked down in the description below if you want to just read the article more yourself. But to anyone who doesn't know, the original Black Ghost was a 1970 Dodge Challenger that was owned by Godfrey Quiles. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, but basically he was a guy who was a veteran and he lived in Michigan, I think in Detroit, and he would go around in the middle of the night, like back in the day, like probably in the 70s and 80s or whatever, and he would just street race people. And obviously back then there was a lot, probably like less surveillance, less police, so people street raced a lot more, and he would just like whoop people's ass, and no one knew who he was, but everyone knew the car, and everyone called the car the Black Ghost. And it had a very specific trim. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but I do think Haggerty, I believe, did a whole like 30 something or 40 something minute documentary on their YouTube channel talking about the original Black Ghost, and I've watched it before. Me and my dad have watched it. I definitely highly suggest, if you haven't seen it already, either pause this video and go watch it, or at the end of this video, definitely go check it out, because there's a lot, like it's just a really cool story. And he got deployed. I think he served in one of the wars, and when he came back, like it was just like a very kind of special car person story. And I think it was abandoned for quite some time, and eventually it did get restored. But anyway, looking at this Car Scoops article, it's an 807 horsepower Challenger SRT Hellcat Red Eye wide body, and that is similar with the previous Last Call edition that just came out, the King Daytona. And if you haven't been keeping up with some of the Last Call editions, here's actually just a list of them, with the first one being the Shakedown, then the Super B, and then 3 and 4 being the Swinger, which I don't really want to talk about that. I already made a video kind of ripping the Swinger a little bit, because I think Dodge cheaped out by making this like the 3rd and the 4th edition when it could literally just be one. And I get it, it's available in the Charger and Challenger, but to me, using the Swinger name with the Swinger name in the past being on the Dodge Dart just didn't really make much sense. But the 5th was again the King Daytona, which was the first one that was not a Scat Pack, and it was based on the Hellcat Red Eye wide body with 807 horsepower. And then this is the Challenger version of that 807 horsepower kind of output Last Call edition. Now obviously most people already know this, but the 7th and final Last Call edition, whether it's going to be a Charger or Challenger or both, is actually going to be revealed at SEMA 2022 within, I think, the next month. I think it's in like November. But here are some pictures of this 2023 Black Ghost, and I love the fact that they put that kind of alligator or snake skin kind of roof on there. I think it's alligator skin roof. The wheels, like everything kind of matches the original spec of the 1970 Black Ghost Challenger. You have this like really cool Black Ghost badge with like a little like triangular icon right there, and the alligator skin as like a backdrop on the badge. Also for the hood, you can see it's kind of like a ram air intake hood with the 2 intakes. And if you look at the original 1970 Black Ghost, here's an actual picture of that gentleman's car, and it actually doesn't really have like, it does have double intakes, but they're not as kind of pronounced as the new one is. And I actually think this is, I think that's the picture that Haggerty uses as their thumbnail for the actual like little kind of documentary or feature film that they did on the car. Now besides the like roof and the hood, there's really not much that is unique to this car, I'd have to say. However, it still is really cool that Dodge is essentially just taking one man's story and one man's car and making it into this last call edition. Now obviously with the King Daytona you can kind of say the same thing, but that had a little bit more to do with, I guess, actual like track racing, whereas this is just like one guy that used to street race, and he was a street racing legend, basically the real life version of Dom Toretto in 1970s and 1980s Detroit, Michigan. And Dodge is kind of honoring his story and his legacy. He has passed away, so unfortunately, you know, it really sucks that he's not able to see this, but I'm sure he's kind of looking down and at least appreciating that Dodge is actually making this, like, basically his story come to life in a production version of one of the last call editions for the final year of the internal combustion engine Charger and Challenger. And also, if you haven't even, like, you know, seen that documentary or know that this car's like original story, it was a 1970 Dodge Challenger RTSE, and it had the 426 Hemi in it, and it had a 4-speed auto trans, and again with the gator roof and like all the different specs, because basically the gentleman that owned it, he like spec'd it right from the factory, kind of custom ordered it, and everything like on it was extremely unique. And I don't think Dodge really made a car that was similar or like identical, or like I don't think anyone really spec'd it identical to this Black Ghost, which is another kind of like little fun fact that makes this specific 1970 Challenger just so damn unique. But that is essentially it. Let me know if you think Dodge should have did a different design on the hood. That's the only thing that I'm looking at right now. I do like the hood pins on it, but the hood, it could be like, it might be a little bit too aggressive for some people. But I still, again, I really like the fact that Dodge is just taking, you know, this one man's story and this one man's car and making it into like such a big deal with this last call edition. But let me know if you think that they should have changed anything, or you know, you don't like the design or whatever, down in the comments below. But honestly, for me, out of the 6 last call editions that have came out, and I know I said this actually about the Super Bee when it came out, but it was obviously only the second one. But this is my favorite so far. Who knows what they come out with in SEMA, but the Super Bee is really cool too. The Shakedown's pretty cool. I don't like the Swinger editions. I'm sorry. I think they're a little bit silly. They're probably my least favorite out of all of them so far. But that is pretty much just going to be it for me today, guys. Again, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, click that bell icon to get notified every time that I do post a new video. I've been really trying to stick to this daily upload schedule. It's been going for like over a month now, and I know I've gotten some support for you guys, but if you like it, you know, comment down below and everything. But like always, thank you guys so much for all the continued support. It really does mean the world to me, and I will see you all in the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, click on either of these links right here to watch a similar video from this channel, or click on the little circle link right there to actually subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. I do appreciate all the support, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.